to You Can Do It.
You can do it!
A Zoomcast powered by Special Olympics Maryland. My name is Nick Stearns. I am one of your co-hosts and co-producers. Shout out to our technical director, Jason, our creative consultant, Donna, and of course, the two busiest guys around, Terrell and Adam, my co-hosts, co-producers, and shout out to Adam for all of that wonderful film editing. Tonight's episode is a very exciting, wonderfully creative episode. We have with us a local composer, performer, and a teaching artist, an all-around amazing guy. Let's give a You Can Do It welcome to Mike Morton, otherwise known as Music Mike.
Hello.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Mike, thank you so much. We're so happy to have you on the show tonight.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Glad to see all these smiling faces.
It's an incredible group, and we are going to start out tonight with something really special, you guys. We're going to turn over our You Can Do It Zoom Square directly to Mike. He is going to share his story. He's going to also perform for us an original song that he wrote, which is super exciting, and he is the first person ever to do that on our show.
Ooh.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I am so thrilled to present to you Mike Morton, Music Mike.
Ooh, well,
Take it
thank
away,
you.
Mike.
Thank you for that
Mike,
great little introduction. How's everyone doing? I know you can't hear you. Give me 2 thumbs up.
doing well.
Right on. So, my name is Music Mike. I've been playing music for most of my life. When I was a little kid, I was playing the piano. I used to play the trombone, played all sorts of instruments. I have all sorts of instruments around me. I started teaching right out of high school. And then I discovered a group called ArtStream, which Nick works with as well, where I got to work with some amazing people with special needs, all sorts of disabilities. And we worked on lots of theater productions where I would write silly music and we would all sing it together. And tonight I was going to sing you a little song that I'm writing, that I actually wrote for ArtStream recently. Does everyone want to hear a song? Sweet.
Yeah.
This song, we're writing a show right now that's going to be debuting on Zoom on YouTube, and it's about what happens if you were transported back to ancient Egypt. And in ancient Egypt, I don't know if you know this, but they worshipped a lot of cats. If you look at ancient Egyptian art, there's like cats painting on the wall. There's like pottery with cats. A lot of people think that they worshipped cats almost like gods. So this song is about what it will be like if you were transformed into a cat. It's called Fleabag. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and sing you a silly song. Here we go. I'm a cat, and I know where it's at. I turned into a kitten and I ain't going back. So give me some tuna and a bowl of cream, so I can go and take a nap in that sunbeam. Being a person was a drag. I'd rather be a flea bag. I'll break your favorite vase, then I'll disappear for days. And when I come back, don't act surprised that I was out there living my best 9 lives. You think I've got some hairball problems, but I know the way to solve them. Stop feeding me that cheap cat food and give me lots of pets, but only when I'm in the mood. I'm on the prowl, so hear me meow. I'm a cat, and I know where it's at. I turned into a kitten and I ain't going back. So Give me some tuna and a bowl of cream, so I can go and take a nap in that sunbeam. Being a person was a drag. I'd rather be a flea bag. Yeah. I seem adorable with cute little paws, but underneath it all I got some pointy claws. I'm out in the yard hiding under a log, so when you find your shredded couch, you'll blame it on the dog. It's 3 a.m. and here's the plan. I'm gonna run around the house as fast as I can. Then I'll dig through all your garbage cans. It's a technique called a cat scan. I'm on the prowl, so hear me meow. I'm a cat, and I know where it's at. I turned into a kitten and I ain't going back. So give me some tuna and a bowl of cream, so I can go and take a nap in that sunbeam. Being a person was a drag. I'd rather be a flea bag. Woo! All right. And that's Fleabag from the upcoming show.
Oh, Mike, that was so much fun. Oh my gosh. That was great. And you're such a great performer. Just connect even through Zoom. What an incredible talent that is. So we're going to get started tonight. I know everybody has so many wonderful questions, and that was just so much fun. So I'm going to turn it over to Adam, who will start it out tonight. So Adam, you've got the Zoom square.
Thanks, Nick. And that was an awesome song, Mike. Thank you. That was so cool. I was just wondering, when creating your music, how do producers figure out the instruments and order of notes they play to achieve the song they want to create?
That's a really good question. So it's two parts. You said what instruments you use and the order of the notes?
Yep.
So for instruments, it really depends on what you're good at, kind of. So for me, I play the guitar a lot. I've got guitars here. I got a guitar here. I got more guitars over here if you can't see them. So usually when I'm writing a song, I'll just go to the guitar first off because it's my favorite. But sometimes if the song needs a piano, you'll go to that instead. It really depends on how the song feels. And for the order of the notes and stuff, I think a lot of that just comes with like practice. Like the more songs you know, the more you kind of recognize different patterns, and you're like, oh, this note sounds good next to this note. Like kind of like that. Yeah, it's just lots of practice, lots of playing.
That's cool. That's great. No, well, no. Terrell, what questions do you have, man?
Hey, hi, Mike. It's nice to see you. Welcome.
Good to see you, man.
How do you write music to go with the words?
Good question.
Mike.
So a lot of times when you're writing, you'll try and write the words first because you need to know what the song's about, things like that. And there are certain I don't know if you play any instruments, but there are certain like
I play guitar.
Yeah, very cool. So like there's certain chords that sound a certain way. So like I'll give you an example. So like if it's a happy song, you might use a chord like this, which sounds so nice. But if it was like a sad song, you might change the chord to which sounds So like you kind of find the vibe that fits the song. So like the cat song is kind of a happy song, so we use a lot of happy chords. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Awesome, yeah.
Awesome. Those were great questions, Adam and Terrell. And I already see so many hands up. Wow. So we're going to go ahead and open it up to Melissa because we've got a lot of folks in the queue tonight.
When I was in Elementary school, I played the violin.
Ooh, very
Do
cool.
you used to play a violin?
So I'm not very good at the violin. To me, violin is too hard. It's one of those instruments I've never been able to learn.
Do you have any favorite music you like?
Favorite music? I like all sorts of music. I like guitar music, like some piano music, like some rock and roll, like some dance music. I just like anything.
Oh, thank you, Melissa. That was a great question. I loved that. All right. Carmen, you are up. What's your question for Music Mike tonight?
Okay, so one of them that I love playing music, and I love playing piano. I have a new instrument I'm playing. It's a ukulele. What is the good tips of people who want to play a ukulele, like write music and like starting your own musician one day, like in the future, in the dream job?
Okay. That's a good question. So ukulele is a really fun instrument because it's like little and you can take it with you wherever you go. So you can play it everywhere, which is I think the best advice if you want to pursue music, trying to get better at music. The trick is just play music all the time. So you take it with you on your car, you take it to your job, take it to school, and just whenever you get a free moment, just keep playing your ukulele. And that's how you get good. Just lots of practice, lots of playing music.
Awesome. Carmen, we'll look forward to hearing about your ukulele experiences. I love that. Thank you, Carmen. I want to just circle back and ask for Sierra, Mike, through the chat. She had a great question. She wanted to know, Mike, do you play locally?
Yes, I do. So I perform with ArtStream and some other groups like that, but I also play in a few bands, play at some bars, play at some festivals, things like that. I think in a few months I'm going out to Ocean City to play some shows. So I'm always trying to stay busy playing lots of shows because it's what I love to do.
That's wonderful, Mike. Thank you. And we'll try to connect later after the show. If you want, if there's some sort of an email list or some way that some of us can know about some of your gigs, we'd love to get that information out to our Zoomers
Sure.
so we can support you. All right, next up, I've got Willie, and then we're going to go to David Godoy. Willie, you got the Zoom square.
Have you ever played any lyric where you just write a great song where you try to perform on one of those performances where you went to, or you probably went, or you can do the lyric where you don't know how to pronounce this words in the song?
So sometimes, yeah, I get to play songs that I write, which is a lot of fun. It's always fun to write your own music and then get to play that. But a lot of times I'm playing other people's music, and that's fun too. It's all a lot of fun. That's my main takeaway. Playing music is lots of fun, and you should do it.
Willie, thank you. That was a really good question. All right, next up, we've got David Godoy, and then we will go to Derek. David, you've got the Zoom square. And Mike, just so you know, David is a fellow very accomplished musician as well.
Ooh.
All right, David.
My passion is music as well. I belong to the sixth generation musician. What is your advice for other fellow athletes who want to become musicians as well, but for some reason they are afraid of trying playing an instrument for the first time?
That's a really good question. So, yeah, sometimes it's a little intimidating when you see someone who's good at anything. It could be someone who's really good at music or somebody who's a really good chef, and you're like, "Ooh, I don't want to try cooking because he's so good. There's no way I can get that good." But I think it's the wrong way to think about it. Music is something that you just get better with the more you do it. The more fun you have with it, the more time you spend doing it. That's really the only way to go forward. So if someone's thinking about picking up music, I would say do it. What's stopping you?
Thank you, David. That was a great question. And Mike, that was such a wonderful answer because, you know, the name of our show is You Can Do It. And so you really are reminding us to try it, to get out there, to practice, to not be, and that's what David was getting at is, and you really inspired us by saying, yeah, pick it up, go for it. You can do it.
You can do it. Yeah. Who's
Awesome.
stopping you?
Beautiful. All right. Next up, I've got Derek and then Amanda J. Derek, you got the Zoom square.
what motivated you to like write the songs and different things like that?
It's something I just kind of fell into when I was in school. I was like middle school. I was always playing music and playing guitar, playing the piano. Like I said, I played the trombone for a long time in the band. And eventually I just, started messing around on the piano and be like, ooh, these kind of notes sound fun together. And I would just put them together and then I would write these little songs, just like 3 or 4 words long, really short. And I'd be like, oh, that's so cool. And I would just play them over and over and I get excited. And then over time, my songs got longer and longer. And then I figured out how to do different parts of it. So it's just a long process of experimenting and figuring it out. That's how I did it.
That's great. That's great. And that was a wonderful, wonderful question, Derek. Thank you. All right. Next up, we've got Amanda J, and then we'll go to Amanda M. All right, Amanda J, you've got the Zoom square.
How long you been playing music with the guitar?
So with the guitar, that's a good question. Let me think. Gotta think about that one. It's been a long time. So I picked it up like in middle school. So maybe 15 years ago, 15, 20 years, somewhere like that. So a long time.
Yeah, that was a great question, Amanda. Thank you. Let's go ahead. We've got Amanda M.
I like that cat song. It's fun and makes me feel happy.
Awesome. I'm so
And
glad.
I play Lemonades of Christmas song.
Yeah. You like Christmas music?
Yes.
Yeah, I love some Christmas music. It always puts me in the right spirit.
Thank you, Amanda M. That was wonderful. And Justin wants to know, Mike, if you are a John Denver fan or if you listen to some John Denver music.
I have indeed. I do like me some John Denver.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. I'd like to go to Thomas.
Where do you get the ideas for your songs?
That's a good question. So depends what the song is for. So like the cat song, like I said, was for a show that we're doing that's got cats in it. So sometimes it's easy like that. You're like, oh, I got to write a song about cats. Then I write a song about cats. But inspiration for songs can come from anywhere. You could think of a song while brushing your teeth, while riding a bike. It doesn't matter where it comes from as long as you have some kind of idea and you just put it down on paper.
That's great. That's great. So inspiration can come from anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Mike, I have a question for you tonight. During the pandemic, we have all obviously been on Zoom, and I'm wondering, and I know I'm a fellow teaching artist, can you talk to us a little bit about, and maybe our Zoomers and our folks watching from home may not even know this, it's really difficult to sing in groups on Zoom. Can you talk to us a little bit about that? Like, why is it so hard?
So first of all, I think it's really amazing that this technology exists in the first place. Like if this pandemic had happened 20 years ago, we wouldn't be able to see each other. So first, I'm really glad this exists and that we can do this, but it does have a lot of issues for singing in general. Cause like when I sing something and someone tries to sing along, Zoom's like, which audio should I play? Who's louder? And it kind of cuts one person out and one person gets louder. It gets weird, it gets messy, but there are ways to do it. And I think, yeah, there's ways around it.
That's great. And you had to, as a teaching artist, you had to adapt and learn to pivot and how to do that.
Yeah, so I teach a bunch of classes, and a lot of times I'll have everybody mute and I'll sing, and then we'll do spotlights and one person sings at a time, or we'll record our parts separately and we'll bring them together. We do all sorts of crazy stuff with technology nowadays.
Well, that's great. All right. Does anybody who hasn't asked a question yet have a question?
There was a question in the chat from Daniel.
Okay.
Daniel says he's a big Grateful Dead fan. Have you heard of Bobby Weir or Phil Lesh or his son? Would you like to play with them? I'm just wondering.
I would love to play with them. If I could play with anyone in the Grateful Dead, that would be amazing. I think they're great.
Oh, that was great. And Justin, why don't you go ahead? I know you've got a question about producing.
So a few years ago, like summer 2019, I had actually lost my cousin, so I wrote a song
Mhm.
about the journey and relationship I had with like family relationship. And during COVID, it's been kind of hard to really follow through on it because there's so much emotion, you know. So I guess like, how do you persevere with getting the song out there?
Well, that's a tough, yeah, that's a tough question because yeah, a lot of time music can be really emotional. Like if you have strong emotion and you have a hard time saying it, it's sometimes easier to sing it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you a lot I don't know if you've heard like if you have something to say to somebody but you can't find the words, you write them a letter. So if you have something if you want to get out in the world, you can write a song about it. So I think it's a really powerful tool and it can help you for healing as well. So if I would encourage you to get that song out there, man.
Thank you
It'll
so
help.
much.
Adam, I'm going to bring it back to you. I know you have one more question for Mike.
Yeah. So I was kind of curious uh, um, for future musicians, or how do you accommodate those with disabilities, with mobility issues, to play instruments and to be able to produce the songs that they see in their minds?
So that's a really good question. So I don't really think about people having mobility issues. It's more about finding what works for people. And it's same with everybody. So say if you're not so good with your hands, maybe you learn how to sing instead. Or maybe if you're not so confident in your voice, you learn how to play the cello or something like that. There's always a million ways you can go about it. So that's how I feel.
Great. Yeah.
That's great. That's great, Mike. It's like just meeting people where they are and finding where their place in music is. And we all have a place there. So that was great. What a great question, Adam. Thank you.
You bet.
Terrell, I know you have another question for Music Mike.
Yes, I do. How do you rate music for dance?
For dancing, ooh, that's a good question. So when you write music for dancing, you just got to make sure that it's upbeat, fast, it's got a good groove, and you can dance to it. If you play it and you want to dance, then you got a dance track. That's the rule.
That was great. Terrell, I love that. What a great question. And what a cool thing to even think about. You know, that's really awesome, Terrell. Thank you. Amanda, we have time for one quick question and then we'll end it with David Godoy. So Amanda, Amanda J, I know you have one more question for Music Mike.
Do you play any instruments besides the guitar?
I do. I play lots of instruments. Different ones. I play different levels. I'm not very good at some things, but I like to play a lot of stuff. So I play the guitar, the mandolin, the ukulele, the trombone, the piano, anything with strings.
And Mike, it's been so wonderful, I think, just giving us the opportunity to get inside the head of a musician and to know. And I think what comes across so clearly tonight is your love and your passion for music and how incredibly inspiring that is. I have a question for you. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
10 years, maybe with a much longer beard. I don't know. I think I'll be doing the same thing I've been doing all my life, just writing songs, playing shows, just having a good time. You know,
That's awesome. That's
do what you
awesome.
love, and you never work a day in your life.
Well, let's give a huge thank you to Mike. And I'm going to turn it over to Terrell. Terrell, when are we going to be back?
Okay, join us next time. Be here, be there, or be square.
That's
Yes.
right. And Adam, what can you leave us with tonight?
Okay, Adam, go for it.
And remember, everyone, keep it positive.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Exactly. And so remember, for those folks watching us, we will be always every Friday at 4:30 on channel 21, Montgomery County Cable. So don't forget to keep watching us. And thank you everybody for being here tonight, and especially for Mike Morton, or Music Mike. So let's give him another You Can Do It round of applause.
All right. Woo-hoo.
And we're going to have a little fun as we exit our show tonight. In just a second, Mike is going to bring back that song that we love. So we're all new fans, Mike. Everybody, well, I'm an old fan, but we're all new fans. And we're going to be the You Can Do It backup singers for Music Mike. So everybody ready? We're gonna be singing our hearts out. Now remember what Mike said earlier. On Zoom, it's pretty tricky to sing in a group, but we can still sing our hearts out. Even though we're on mute, I still want you to sing at the top of your lungs and put your heart into it, because everything Mike shared with us tonight is about putting our heart and our soul into what we do. And for Mike, it's music. And for many of us, it's music. And hopefully after tonight, for all of us, it's music. So let's become the first ever one night only performance of the backup singers from You Can Do It for Music Mike. You guys ready? He's going to put the lyrics on the screen. We're going to be singing that chorus.
Cool. So we're going to sing that song I sang earlier. Here we go. I'm a cat, and I know where it's at. I turned into a kitten and I ain't going back. So give me some tuna and a bowl of cream, so I can go and take a nap in that sunbeam. Being a person was a drag. I'd rather be a flea bag. Good singing, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, everybody. Be well, be safe, play music, sing music, listen to music. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Bye.
And thank you so much, Mike. It was wonderful. Great to see you. Thank you for being here.
Great to be here. Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.